Hello there, we got two circuits in this project. Let's take a look at how they work, and then discuss how to program them and build them. Yeah, cool. So getting into this project, we got three parts. We got a, looking at this circuit, which I'm going to bring up my phone to get a nice little video on top of the video on top of the video. But you got three parts to this circuit. Let's also bring up the code. So we got RFID code right there. So we got three parts. You got, bringing this up, three main parts. You got an LED, an RFID scanner, and a transmitter. The LED is only there so that when I scan it, I can visually see that I've scanned it. So if I scan this ID right now, which is just my work ID, which I have programmed to work, you can see the LED lights up. You don't need that LED there because if you look at the code and we go to this thing called serial monitor in the code right here, serial monitor, click it. When I scan my ID, you can visually see it show up as spam sent. So that's what I have the message sent. That's also my wonderful RFID hexadecimal code, which I'm gonna blur a little bit, but whatever. This card, which is it's a blank generic card that I have not programmed to do anything yet. When we scan this, you'll see access denied. The LED doesn't light up. The screen says access denied. That's its special hexadecimal key that I could program to accept or deny later if I wanted to. That's all from this part right here. This chip is the RFID scanner. It scans these RFID cards, and then if they're accepted or denied, it will do something that I've programmed. This program is just me modifying. I just modified the wonderful, amazing, wrong spot, Arduino starter kit. So this Arduino starter kit right here was modified. Well, I'm sorry, no, I'm modified. But I basically built this from this, but not all of it. I had to buy the radio transmitter and receiver. But regardless, the RFID chip comes with this kit. And then in this kit, there's a CD that takes you to a website. The website has a PFD, which has various project code that you can just extract and modify for yourself. That's what I did, this modified code that came with this kit. So this RFID code you can actually get from a from the kit's website, basically, a PDF on the kit's website, which you can Google. You can actually Google and find similar results too. You don't have to use that specific one. It's just the one I used and modified. But if we look through this code real fast, you got it's not too complicated. You got some included libraries. You got some things defined to use those libraries. And then as you go through, you got your serial instance being initiated and various things like that. But as we go down here, there's some hexadecimal conversion stuff here, which we don't need to know about. You couldn't learn and research it yourself, but you don't need to know about that to make this work. The big thing you want is down here. This is the key code you're going to be programming in. So when you have an RFID chip and you scan it, it'll have a hexadecimal code. You have to type in that code there to make your card have access. You can add more codes with strings like AND, or even make an array, if you know what that is, to have multiple cards, but we don't care about that. We only need one card to work, right? For me, it's just my personal ID. But You can even program the message, customize it, so you can have when it's accepted, authorized access. You can even have this is the LED. I have the LED light up when the LED goes high when it's scanned, so I know it works. If the access is denied and the card doesn't work, then it will just say access denied in the serial monitor, which you saw. So that's the RFID chip code in a nutshell. So it's not too complicated. So that's part 1 of the circuit and part 2. So you can understand part 1, RFID just scans chips and then gives you a message. Part 2 is an LED that just lights up to let me know that the scan went through. And that's the RFID chip in a nutshell. So anyways, welcome back. We're going to go over the radio receiver now. So the radio receiver is a little bit different than transmitter. Transmitter had the RFID chip there and an LED to indicate that it was being sent. It was like 3 parts, right? So the receiver is, well, not really simpler, but different. Code's easier though. Code's a lot more simple. So for the receiver, if we look through the code here, we got some included libraries from the Radiohead library. We're using that still. Radiohead library is fantastic. We go through here, we got the similar code to the transmitter. The big difference is, of course, that we're receiving, so we have some receiving code down here, and when we get the message received, the thing that we're looking for, it's going to be turning on and off pin 6. Pin 6 we have hooked up to LED and buzzer. You could keep something on or turn something off, or however you want to have this work, right? It doesn't have to be the same. Like, feel free to modify the code, of course. My code's not even that pretty, honestly. This isn't even the final version. This is just the, it's simple enough. It's a simpler version. I probably can get rid of a lot of the libraries I'm not using, though. But anyways, we included all this stuff and used it because it's part of the Radiohead library. There's not much to talk about here. I mean, you have, like, you can change this part of the code. If you just wanted to copy it and change this part, you can have it do whatever you want. And that's pretty much it. This tells you that message received. This prints out the message that was received, in this case spam. And yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it for the code. For the circuit, we got of course, a buzzer, a LED that lights up so we can hear it, see it visually. We have a little transistor here, and I'm going to explain that in a moment. We of course have the Arduino hooked up to the radio receiver. The radio receiver is similar to transmitter. You need the same antenna length, so when we calculated the 17.6, what was it again? Let's take a look real fast. So when we're looking this up, it was 0.17 meters. That's right. 0.17 meters is 17 centimeters. So we're going to make sure that antenna is, of course, soldered onto the receiver, just like with the transmitter. It's not the most complicated process, right? You just cut the wire and solder it. So once you have that set up, you're going to hook that up to the Arduino. Then with the code I showed you, you want to program that in. And then, because we're using a buzzer, the buzzer takes more volts than the Arduino can provide to be loud, right? I'm using an additional 9-volt battery. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it because it makes the buzzer loud enough for me to hear at a long distance. So the additional battery is powering primarily the buzzer. So I use a transistor gate circuit. This is just basically a simple circuit that uses a transistor, and when the transistor gets the Arduino's pin 6 high, it allows the electricity to go to the buzzer, because the transistor is an electric switch. You can use these. This is a very simple actual way of setting up a electric switch that could be used to power something more powerful. It doesn't even have to be a transistor. You can use a power MOSFET to use something to power something bigger. You could switch a relay there and power something really big like a lamp. But it's very useful idea to have if you need to power something more powerful than an LED. Is just to be able to throw in a transistor gate circuit like this, or a MOSFET, or again a relay, and then you can have, like, buzzer, or if you have the relay, you can turn on a lamp when this turns on and off. It's just very simple construct we use all the time in these kind of projects. But yeah, so that's what I did for the circuit, and it worked great. Like I said, feel free to edit the code, change it however you want, because if you do something more awesome than I did, fantastic. That's what I want. I love to see people learn and improve. It's great to see, great to hear. And that's pretty much it. That's how I built a radio transmitter that scans off of RFID. I mean, feel free to leave any questions in the comments, and I'll try to get back to them, although I don't check the channel that often. It's more of this for fun and to share the knowledge, and hopefully, I really do hope people learn something. And share in the comments if you know something I don't, because again, I hope people learn something. It's awesome.